So tonight is a Beatles night, and because I was listening to something today upstairs on the computer, it was my day off, and I'm messing around getting some things onto YouTube, and going through some old audio memos. I had one where I would sit for 45 minutes or an hour, which I won't do that this time, but anyways, I would sit 45 minutes or an hour just like song after song, like as I just flipped through a binder, and it was like Beatles theme or Rolling Stones or something. So I listened to it and I thought, yeah, I should get back and do that, and do it like now with the Yeti microphone, the little bit better quality microphone. So here we go. But I've had challenges. Like I started this about an hour ago, and I've had nothing but problems with my laptop. And you know how that goes, one thing to the next, and I even totally erased the Audacity program from the computer, which is the one I use here to record, and had to reinstall it, thinking, okay, something will pick up and it'll get better. Well, it hasn't really, but either way, I've gone past the challenges. I think I'm ready to just have a good evening and get back into a good frame of mind. So here we go. Yeah, so it's a Beatles evening. Oh yeah, so here's the story on this. That's a lot of years ago for me. That's like over 50 years ago. And I joke that it's kind of like I sold my soul to my mother to get their first album. I used to, like once a month, it was my turn to go and help my mom do the groceries. And we went into this, and she'd always buy us like a little treat, like a chocolate bar or something. And when I walked into the store, I saw this album, and it was like the Four Faces half in shadow, like on the Beatlemania was the album, the very first one that came to Canada. And I ran to my mom and I said, "Mom, I will help you for the next 2 months with the groceries if you would please just buy that album for me, please." And she did. The rest is history. Anna, you call and ask me, girl, to set you free, girl. You say he loves you more than me, so I will set you free. Go with him. Go with him. Anyway, so I got home and I made a fake guitar out of wood and cardboard and fishing line, and I thought even though it was electric, I thought they were supposed to have that big black hole in the middle, so I took a black magic marker and I made a big round circle in the middle of it. And I proceeded to learn every song that the Beatles had on that LP. Like, I was 11 years old. I was smitten. And then my mom, one time we were downtown at, I think it was like a Kresge or something, forget the name, Freeman's, downtown Ottawa. And they had Beatle wigs, and I got a Beatle wig, while my mom picked up her 45 of Frank Ifield singing, what was his hit? I Remember You. Yeah. Anyway, so here I am now. I've got my Beatles wig, and I've learned all the songs. I could sing them, and I had this fake guitar. So my dad was never home, never around, never saw him. And my mom was always just so busy with her stuff. So I rounded up my friends' parents, and I would go to my friend's place and have them put on the album. And I'd say, choose a song. And I would stand in front of the parents and I would play the song with the fake guitar and my Beatles wig. 11 years old. I was smitten. Anna, Girl, before you go now, I want you to know now that I still love you so. But if he loves you more, go with him. All of my life I've been searching for a girl to love me like I love you. But every girl I've ever had breaks my heart and leaves me sad. What am I supposed to do? Anyways, it was just I had a little bit of that also with the Rolling Stones, but nothing like the way the Beatles took me. You can go with him. Anyways, so I'm going to kind of stop this as I go along and keep adding to it because I want to make sure I don't go too far off track. Okay, so I gave that a listen. And as I was listening to it, actually, and you can feel free to do the same whenever you're listening to anything that I play, because it's just me and my guitar. And so if you feel like doing the, like when it was like, Anna, I just start doing drumming on the table. Anna, anyways, feel free to do drumming as you listen, because it kind of probably makes the experience more fun for you. Yeah, man, I really enjoyed that, and I can see I'm going to do a couple of recordings of this because I feel like telling a little bit of my story of, you know, why I do what I do. It's after all of these years. So the real formative years were back then, and certainly it was the Beatles, and they time and time again they led me through the whole introduction into music, to the whole concept of harmonies and chords, and they were doing things that people weren't doing, and then they started adding instruments that people weren't using, like French horns and I know it was clavinets and different things, little staccato trumpets and whatever, and they were doing all this weird stuff, and then they were recording things backwards, and then they had all these really funky lyrics, and they took you on trips, and man, they just did everything. And so that's what my experience is going to be about as I'm playing a few things through the next couple of nights. But I want to stay with the very early days, but I'm also doing this sincerely. I've got my binder open. I've got these tabs, Beatle tabs. I have a whole binder for just Beatles, and I'm just going alphabetically. And I realized that right at the beginning of their career, they would, and I'm just going to do bits of songs, but like here was like a taste of honey, tasting much sweeter than wine. I dream of your first kiss, and then I feel a part of my lips are getting the taste of honey, tasting much sweeter than wine. I always remember picking up Paul's voice on the do-do-do-do. You could like really hear, we got to learn to distinguish their voices. And then I'm not sure sometimes if I'm going to have to mess around with my capo here, but I'm just going to hit this as it comes and see if I've got the key that I can sing to. Because sometimes it's like words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup. They slither while they pass away and slip away across the universe. Pools of sorrow, waves of joy are drifting in, open-minded, possessing and caressing me. Jigu Deva, oh, Nothing's gonna change my world. 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 Okay, so as I play this stuff, sorry, I just gotta put the guitar down for a second. As I play this stuff, I'm also possibly not filling in the way I would normally want to do with between the chords, you know, all the little other bits that we hear sometimes on the records. But keep in mind, I'm just flipping page to page, and I'm quickly looking at the chords, and at the same time I got to try to remember overall how it sounded and trying to find my voice and read the lyrics, because I certainly don't have all this memorized, and if I ever did, I would have forgotten it by now anyways, at my stage of life. So having said that, I hope you forgive me if it's not, you know, it's not the greatest quality sometimes, but it's just a lot of fun just going from one to the next. And again, I'm not sure if I'm ever in the right key, but they're gonna put me in the movies. What album was this? Was this it's the same album, I think, that had Kansas City, I forget some, oh, you remember that song, damn, a bad little kid moved into my neighborhood. That was a real screamer. Anyways, but this one here, and I think it was Ringo sang this one. They're gonna put me in the movies. They're gonna make a big star out of me. They make a film about a man that's sad and lonely. But all I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I bet you make it a big star. Win an Oscar, you can never tell. The movie's gonna make me a big star. Oh, I love learning this, 'cause I could be the part so well. That going from the E, and instead of to an A, to go to from the E to the F sharp, and then to the B, like I learned that through the Beatles. Like, wow, those guys, I learned so much from them. Anyways, so that was acting naturally. How about whenever I want you around, yeah, all I gotta do is call you on the phone and you come running home. Yeah, that's all I gotta do. And when I wanna kiss you, all I gotta do is whisper in your ear the words you long to hear, and I'll be kissing you. And the same goes for me. Whenever you want me at all, I'll be here, yes I will. Whenever you call, you just gotta call on me, yeah. You just gotta call on me. And when oh yeah, that was a great song too. Gotta stop this here for a second.